We ready to rock and roll here? Let's do it. I have a motion to call this July meeting of the Southampton Village Planning Board to order.
So moved.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. If everyone could silence their cell phones, we won't have any interruptions and we'll get going. We are still waiting for the zoning board to make some decisions on 550 and 554 Hill Street, so that's adjourned. Right?
Correct.
Right. Yep. So then we have Crawford and Sullivan.
Were we gonna no, that was something different. I'm sorry, go ahead.
301 and 317 Murray Place.
Hi,
This evening is the public hearing.
good afternoon. Mary Jane Asado.
Good afternoon.
Asado, 21 South Main Street, for the applicant. You probably, I don't know if the office told you, but John Bennett of Bennett and Reed originally submitted this application, and unexpectedly, a conflict arose. So
I'm dazzled.
I was asked to step in, and so here I am. Here's the affidavits of mailing and posting for both the properties. Since John Bennett did it before there was substitution of counsel, those were, the affidavits are from them, okay? Because I was brought in at the very last end of it. Also, I did get the message from Ms. Eisberg that, Kathy, that the AF short form had to be submitted, and I did submit by email to all parties involved. However, this is the original, quote, real signature. The application before you is relatively, in my opinion, straightforward and simple. Should I put the map out here? Because you said that.
Yeah, and face it, is it face it towards us? Face it towards us,
Oh, okay. All right, hold on.
thanks, Mary.
Face it towards it. All right. Is that,
You don't have to be at the microphone to speak, you can be in front of the table also.
okay, I don't know if you can actually even see that. Can you?
He'll hone in on it.
Wow, now we can see it.
This is where you have two lots. One's under, it's not conforming, and the other one is more than conforming. And what they're proposing to do is transfer from the more conforming lot to the unconforming lot a total of, hold on, I believe it's 10,000 square feet. All right, so you're going to get a more conforming lot after the transfer. There's no proposed construction whatsoever. It's just a paper transfer for all intents and purposes. We submit that there is no impact whatsoever. In fact, obviously, although we're not making it fully conforming, the lot that it's getting the transfer is going to be certainly more conforming than it was before. Unless this board has questions, or if Kathy has questions or Bo has questions, I really don't want to belabor this more than it is.
Thank you. Does anybody in the audience wish to address this application?
Mary Jane, there are no covenants, I think, on either of these properties? Right?
No. If you look at it, I think John submitted, maybe he didn't submit a single and separate search. I believe he did. We did have a single separate search and a CNR search. And these properties are relatively old. I mean, they didn't have any.
Thank you.
Kathy?
It was a very good summary. This is an R120 zone, so that requires 120,000 square feet.
I was back there, so
So one of the lots is about 80,000 square feet. That will go up to 90,000 square feet in actually.
What will
And
the larger lot become?
the larger lot will be 122, I believe, so it'll still conform.
So it's basically being reduced as much as it can to still remain conforming and increasing the other one by that amount.
The other thing that was on the map that we checked were the coverage calculations to make sure that they're consistent with code, and they are.
So even after the transfer?
Yeah, after the transfer. And even with a proposed tennis court, which has not been looked at by this board, the southern lot is proposing a tennis court in the future. It will meet the setbacks and it has plenty of area for that. And they included that in their proposed coverage. So we reviewed their Part 1 EAF. It was a short EAF in this case, and prepared a Part 2. There's no potential impacts here, and we recommend a neg deck. And if you are considering closing the public hearing, you need to adopt a neg deck before you did that.
Does anyone on the board have any questions?
No.
We have a motion to close the public hearing.
I move that we close the public hearing.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
And then,
So we have a,
Motion to adopt the neg deck.
right. Do I have a second for the motion to adopt the negative deck?
it's seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Excellent. Nice to have you.
Okay. We have a tennis court application for 410 Ox Pasture Road.
Tennis court. 410.
We've looked at this, I think, right,
Yes.
Kathy?
Yeah.
Yes, there were just a couple of comments related to having a radius map submitted for the record, and I don't know if that has been submitted, as well as a 3-foot separation between the bottom of the pool to groundwater is recommended. And so, as far as I know, we haven't received any additional plans to now, but if they come in, otherwise I would recommend approval for this application.
But they need to present you with some additional information prior to that?
Yeah, unless there's anything new in the folder.
No, just you.
What was the information, Kathy?
There was a radius map as one of the requirements.
Pam, is that the map we just had?
Oh, that's right, that's the map you just
So-
gave me. Goodness.
Okay, so one of the other things is that they do have plenty of room between the groundwater elevation and the bottom of the pool. It's just that the note says 2-foot minimum. I mean, that could actually be scrawled out and put 3-foot minimum, because they have plenty of room there.
Kathy, they did submit a radius map.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, here it comes.
So this can be,
Well, in light of that, I can make a motion to approve
Well, approve for,
with,
Approve pending receipt of the additional documents?
just consensus to approve pending
Okay.
written decision.
pending a written decision.
Correct.
because if you have the radius map, you're good.
Great, and we have the radius map. So that's moved?
It's just a lot behind Borghese. I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The lot line modification, the Schaffel Price, 122 South Main Street and 85 Toilsome Lane, I think.
Bernie, you were involved with this? Yes. Two things. One, I've got the decision basically written, but could you get forward to me the recording information on that August 2007 covenant?
Sure. I
And
think we did provide it.
the copy of the covenant's there, but I didn't see the recording information.
Got that.
I just wanted to run by you the fact that the board will include in the decision a reference to and request a covenant that this transfer not be used as the basis for any future zoning or planning relief.
Does that mean you're precluding them from subdividing?
No, it's just that they couldn't go into the zoning board of appeals and say we need relief because based upon the fact that they had sold 20,000 square feet off. It's basically going to work in one direction.
That's fine, as long as they're not precluded.
No, it doesn't preclude at all. That's not even part of the equation, but just that neither applicant will use anything to say that at a future administrative proceeding that the reason they're there is because, or part of it, for
Price is
justification.
precluded from that since he's getting, right, so
Yeah,
it's
I
shut out.
can't see how that would adversely affect him, but as far as the Schaffel goes, if something arose, somebody wanted a bigger house, and then in other words, they can't come back and say, well, we're here because
Right.
a lot area, basically a lot area problem exists, or a dimensional area, when they've in fact sold this off.
Mr. Chappelle looked into that and realizes what size house he can have
Yeah.
on the
Good, okay.
vacant lot, secondary lot, so we're fine.
Good, okay, thank you. So if you could get me that information, we'll have you ready for the work session for decision.
So that's adjourned for pending written decision?
Correct.
Make a motion to adjourn the Chapel Price for all purposes pending, no, for all purposes, pending a written decision.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. And site plan review, the 9 Main Street Associates application.
The applicant has resubmitted all of the documents that were approved formally, and we couldn't extend, unfortunately. I would recommend that this be placed on for public hearing, and in the meantime, we'll review it as far as for code modifications, building code modifications, stuff like that.
Placed on for public hearing?
Yeah, I will put it on for public hearing for next month. Because then, we have an opportunity.
This is the one we
to hear
had the
from them.
public hearing already?
It's been pending for 2 years, Steve, and due to
It was approved already, right?
technicality, yeah, it was basically approved.
Unless you want to waive the public hearing, that's another option.
I'd ask Bo,
I prefer
I know
not to
when
waive public
we had the
hearings,
public
yeah.
hearing, there was, the adjacent neighbor came up and basically was told that you really don't have any rights with a building going up next door to it, right? That was the only
That's
person who
right.
spoke.
That's right. So, bring the old, same things up. Okay.
Timothy S. McCully, Berkin, Sutherland, 41 Main Street, Southampton. I'm sorry, Meeting House Lane, Southampton. Yeah, we had a public hearing on this, went through extensive testimony, and the only person, I think the owner of the cheese shop building next door, was questioning about the windows and so forth in there, and it became an issue of the building code and meeting the building code, and that was the only person who showed up.
That's what I remember.
Why would we have another public hearing?
Because that's what that's what we're supposed to do.
Not necessarily. You're
Well,
not-
because we're always concerned, Tim, that somebody, for some reason, shows up and says, well, I didn't get the second public hearing. It as much protects the applicant as it does anybody else. We just had that last month with a vegetation on a flag lot where the owner, the day of the hearing, a neighbor wrote a letter saying that they opposed it. Well, had there been a public hearing noticed, then the owner, that neighbor probably would have been present and it could have been resolved right then and there, but...
But you waived the public hearing in the first instance in that case. Is that what you're saying?
No, that was the public hearing, yeah, that was
Okay.
made.
But-
So my preference as counsel of the board is that they not waive public hearings. The converse of that is, what is so significant of timing now that this application can't wait until August 7th for planning board approval?
I'm not, that's not what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. What is so significant in terms of waiting a month for the hearing?
Well, I'm not going to argue that there is.
I want to argue, I'm just saying, if you tell me what extraordinary circumstances exist, why the hearing should be waived, that another month can't pass by to have the hearing.
But what would be gained by another public
It's not a
hearing?
question. The code basically says a hearing unless waived, and we don't want to waive it.
Okay, you don't want to waive it, the board doesn't want to waive it, I can't
I
do
don't want to
anything
set
about that.
precedent of waiving because it sets a precedent, and I'd rather not have somebody say, I wished I could have had a chance to make a comment about that application, but I didn't get the chance because you guys waived the public hearing. So we have the hearing. If nobody shows up, the public hearing's over. If somebody does show up, we hear what they have to say. It solves all the problems by letting people...
Okay, and I could understand that if somebody was not having a public hearing at all on a site plan, for some reason you waived that hearing from the get-go, but that's not what
Well, that
happened
was
here. So
happened 2
that's-
years ago, Tim, and we've had 2 years' worth of experience since then, and basically weighing in more now on not having
Okay.
public hearings.
And nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed.
Okay. That's-
So we will, if we can have a motion to schedule a public hearing for this application for the next,
On August, whatever it is. What day is it, August, right?
August 7th?
August 7th? It says on-
I'll move that we hold the hearing on August 7th. Delay it and have it hold the hearing on August 7th.
we have a second on the
For
motion?
9 Main Street.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Beechwood Latch, 101 and 109 Hill Street. I was supposed to get a hold of Pat Cleary, and I must say that I did not do that, but I had not heard from him, so I don't know, Rooney, if you've heard anything back from him regarding his comments regarding the final EIS.
He made some initial comments that we responded to. I think we're waiting for him to get back. I think we've cleared everything, and he's supposed to submit it to you where you would accept it as final and then submit it for comment. But apparently it's not in yet. I tried him this morning, and I didn't get him yet.
I apologize. I had made a note to myself to reach out to him, but did not, so I will make sure that I do that prior to the next meeting.
I think we'll have everything in order then, and you can accept it and circulate it. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
So do we adjourn that, Steve?
Make a motion to adjourn for all purposes the Beechwood Latch.
Yeah. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
1616 Realty Company at 15 Hill Street. I thought Tim was talking to us about that.
Yeah, he actually requested an adjournment and
Yeah.
by letter.
Yeah, the letter says they're working on the sanitary part, right?
Yes.
Make a motion to adjourn for all purposes the
You-
1616
Do
Realty.
you know if they approached the Board of Health, the guy that you recommended that they talk to, or do you?
No, that was, I recommended that at the work session. I don't know what happened after that.
Demansky's solution suggestions.
It's a motion to approve the applicant's request for adjournment, Steve.
Yeah. Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We have the written decision for 61 Pheasant Lane.
For approval of the application as amended.
I have a copy here.
I'll make a motion to approve the application of 61 Pheasant Lane
decision,
LLC.
the written decision.
The written decision on the application as amended.
And a second,
All in favor?
Aye.
you can decide, you can spell my name differently if you want, it doesn't matter. Still,
Somebody's got the original.
I got a copy here.
You have the
The
original?
original's in the file.
Okay. So Pam, will you sign that? Thank you. We have a letter in the file from John Danielson at 30 Sanford Place requesting adjournment.
Make a motion to approve the request of the applicant to adjourn for all purposes the John Danielson 30 Sanford Place application.
James will be up. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And lastly, the PMA Southampton LLC, 21 Bowden Square, application to pave the parking lot, reviewing their EAF.
Well, we don't have anybody from the applicant here tonight, so we did have some comments to discuss with them, but in the meantime, I'll review the EAF. I'll circulate a letter of coordination. I'm not sure if there are other involved agencies. If not, then we won't circulate, but I will review the EAF. And
Okay. So until then, we'll adjourn.
I'm assuming it's not really complicated, right? It's an old parking lot that's going to be brought up to speed.
John Foster sent it for site plan review for a reason, so there's, they're putting in drainage, they, make a safe parking lot and add some striping. We don't have the striping, there's some things that are missing, so.
Okay.
And we had a question on whether the pedestrian entrance should be separate from the vehicle entrance. So have a walkway through where the grass is to allow, so the people don't have to walk where the cars are.
We had requested some hedges we put in front of some low shrubs that aren't going to grow high, so it won't block
To make it buffer it a little bit.
but we could have an opening in the middle of
So
those.
that was discussed at the June meeting, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be nice to have a low buffer, but if you made a high buffer, now you make sort of a little enclosed, dark place.
I agree. We don't want that.
So if you do low bushes, it'll block the cars. Anyway, it'll look green as you go
It'll
by.
have to be something that doesn't grow very high.
Okay, could I have a motion,
In the absence of the applicant's representative, the board takes it upon itself to adjourn the application for all purposes.
So we'll make a motion to adjourn the application, the PMA Southampton LLC, 21 Bowden Square for all purposes.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Having you do work.
How are we on minutes?
I am not done with them.
I don't think I saw him.
You have June 5th and June
I'm
26th.
not sure they came to me.
Get them for the work session.
Okay,
I don't think they came to me.
all right, we will approve those at the work session, but we're not able to do that now. The next meeting of this board will be a work session here in this room at 5 p.m. on July 31st, followed by the public meeting for August on August 7th at 5:30. If there's no further business, can I have a motion to close the meeting?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.